Our conference is called The Future of Conferences, Eventful or Event Empty en français, Le Futur des Conférences, Événement ou Événement. This man has been on more stages than an Agatha Christie play, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Mitch Joel. There he is. You cannot hear the cheering, but around the world right now, it's astonishing the amount. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Philippe Telliot.
Bonjour, Andy.
Thank you, Phil. Again, arousing. I could just feel the vibe of the people applauding around the world. The 24 countries watching us. Co-fondateur de Air Commun, which is an open-air working space, common working space. Co-fondateur de En Effet, qui est une agence expérientielle. Mesdames et messieurs, Marie-Pierre Tessier de l'Étoile. There she is. Salut, Marie-Pierre. Comment ça va? Excellent. Quel nom majestique! Marie-Pierre Tessier de l'Étoile. C'est comme la royauté québécoise, un nom comme ça. If you were on my hockey team, we'd need 2 sweaters for that name. It's incredible. And I asked you all to do something. I asked you all to bring with you today an object, a prop, something that describes in your mind the future of conferences. So if you can give a visual of what the future of conferences holds and why. So if we can, I'd like to start with Phil. Phil, can you show us your prop and tell us why you chose that and what it means for conferences in the world going forward?
With absolute pleasure. Andy, my prop is a tablet. But not just any tablet. This represents quite a bit. Because the future of events, I think, is unpredictable and going to be surprising to a certain extent. So today I brought on the tablet another person. Everybody meet Pamela Perotti.
Hello, Pamela.
Who is responsible for today all of the technology at Startup Fest and at Forward 50, another event that we run. And I think what's important to note is that, again, we're going to be using these tablets in such a way that we're going to be able to bring other people into the conversation. Pamela, would you like to say hello? Yeah, I don't know if everybody can see that. So
yes,
this is Pamela. And so we can also, the reality is that nowadays in these conferences, people can be, very distracted. They'll have their telephones on one end, they'll be watching the conference somewhere else, they'll be on their tablet doing their emails, and so it's a very distributed reality. And so for me, the future of events is certainly very technological, very uncertain, and very unpredictable.
All right, thank you, Phil. As somebody who has done a few of him in his time. Right now, just a show of hands out there, how many of you are actually paying attention, full attention to this and not using your phone or anything else while you're doing it? Yeah, right, the technical crew. That's the only people raising their hands, I believe.
Absolument, on peut se tutoyer tout à fait. Donc, mon objet est cet objet très simple qui est un crayon. Parce que pour moi, en fait, le futur des événements, j'avais envie de parler de 3 perspectives qui, selon moi, sont des tendances lourdes et donc qui vont passer à travers le temps, passer à travers les modes. La première étant l'engagement. Donc, le crayon, pour moi, ça représente l'engagement parce que je pense que les événements doivent donner envie de prendre des notes, de participer, d'être à la table à dessin, de faire des ateliers, de donner son contact à des gens. Donc, il y a comme le côté, l'engagement. Je pense que c'est vraiment une tendance lourde qui va toujours demeurer dans le futur des événements. Ensuite, le deuxième élément, c'est la signature. Donc, ce que j'entends par signature, c'est le curating. Je pense qu'on est dans une ère où il y a une multiplication de l'offre. Si je veux, je peux écouter une conférence qui se passe en Turquie, aux États-Unis, à Dubaï. Et donc, je vais certainement aller vers un contenu qui est curaté, qui me plaît spécifiquement. Donc, je pense qu'on ne peut pas se permettre d'être average et de couvrir trop de sujets. Je pense qu'il faut bien saisir à qui on s'adresse, quels sont les goûts des gens et que le curating va vraiment demeurer une tendance lourde puis représenter le futur des événements. J'avais entendu une autre conférence dans un autre contexte où un conférencier parlait des tendances lourdes en marketing, puis au niveau du curating, il disait « On est une génération qui va mettre un vélo de 6 000 $ sur une voiture qui en vaut 1 500 », dans le sens où Dans le sens où c'est pas le fait d'avoir tout ou d'avoir le même niveau de tout, c'est que nos goûts sont très spécifiques et on va aller chercher exactement ce qui nous intéresse.
Alors, merci.
Donc,
Oh, parfait. Je m'excuse, je pense
pas
que...
de problème.
OK.
Mon dernier élément,
OK.
c'est le côté hybride de ce crayon, donc qui écrit et qui efface, mais qu'il y en a un qui fonctionne définitivement mieux que l'autre. Donc, moi, je pense que oui, les événements hybrides, oui, la technologie pour permettre l'accessibilité, mais que le présentiel, ça reste la formule où on vibre le plus fort.
Parfait, merci. Quelqu'un a fait ses devoirs aujourd'hui, hein? Wow, merci beaucoup. Deux choses. In the room, if we can increase the monitor, because at my advanced age, I'm a little deaf in my left ear, so the louder you go, the more I can hear Marie-Pierre, and I can know when she's finished and not interrupt. That would be very helpful for my personality and the fact when I get home, I won't be scolded for interrupting. Here we go. Last and certainly not least, a man, as I said, who is really a veteran speaker and who's really seen everything. Mitch, Joel, your prop and why?
Well, you know, Andy, when you first talked about this event, you know, I take these types of tasks very seriously. And I spent days thinking about what I could show and what I could bring that would be very different and representative. And for me, it's these. You know, as a speaker, I can't believe how much time I've spent since March of this year speaking with things in my ears, having to listen to events in my ears. And as I watch the transition from physical to video, I've also noticed that everybody focuses on the video. And the power of audio is incredibly powerful. Wow. As you were doing your introduction, there is no applause. You don't really know when you're up on these stages now how you're doing. And it's become a much more broadcast one-way interaction than the ones we're used to when we're full together and experiencing it together. And so for me, you know, these headphones and these AirPods really represent probably the most dramatic shift in what it means to be a speaker and what it means to be an attendee at an event. There's also a visual thing where when we see people with headphones, it seems a bit different because we notice them versus when we're sort of free of them and able to sort of communicate. Human beings don't do well if they're communicating with someone that has something stuck in their ears. And yet here we all are, whether we're in our homes or in physical spaces, blocking ourselves off to a certain degree more than ever. So for me, it really is stuff in our ears. I just never would have thought of it.
Amener des craft beer et des vins nature et du design scandinave, vous allez être là. Ils vont s'intéresser à ce que vous faites. Ils ne seront pas intéressés à embarquer dans une expérience technologique nécessairement. Donc, pour moi, le futur, c'est, oui, on va explorer avec toutes ces technologies-là, mais tout est dans le curating. Je pense qu'on doit chercher à créer plutôt des micro-expériences ultra spécifiques de qualité, bien sélectionnées avec des speakers où les gens peuvent relate et des sujets qui vont les intéresser authentiquement.
Merci. Phil, do you want to add? Because I have something more pointed that I want to throw at you. If you want to...
Sure, with pleasure, avec plaisir. I think we're living a little bit of our blockbuster moment for events. And what I mean by that is, you know, we as event organizers made money by bringing people from around the world to a particular location. Mm-hmm. And what we were selling was content in large cases. Of course, there's all the other benefits that most people were looking for, which was the return on investment. Why am I going to this event? But ultimately what we were doing is we were bringing in great speakers, and we were trying to, you know, attract an audience around that. The reality today is that that middleman for that responsibility of content is going away quickly. Mitch is now his own broadcast studio. And so I follow you online. I see all the pictures you're posting of your environment and the cameras. And so people that are in the content business today are taking over the technological responsibility of broadcasting. The tools are everywhere. So the future for us as organizers is to really get back to the base of why were people coming to these events, and that is about creating some sort of a return on investment, whether it's I'm looking for an investment, so we run startup events, we're looking for an investment, so who are my investors, where am I going to find investors, can I match people together in that process? Or if I'm looking to sell my product, well, can I put buyers in front of these, you know, vendors? And I think to Marie-Pierre's point, it's really that curation now that can become important. If I can help create the connections that you were ultimately looking for when you came to our events and make it far more efficient for you, you'll be happy. You've got your clients, or you get your investment, or you get whatever you need out of it if I've curated that process for you.